Ubisoft games are all the same, for me at the moment at least. Hey, it's Collipso, and I have to get this off my chest. I, for the moment being, am burnt off of Ubisoft games. And for one reason, they all feel the same. And you could say, well, Collipso, you only play Far Cry games.
That could be the problem.
And my counter to that, my dear friend, is I also play Assassin's Creed. So suck on that.
Oh, come on, man.
Before I get into the issue more in depth, I want to say a bit about my history with Ubisoft games. I've played a lot of games in my childhood that were made by Ubisoft. Funnily enough, if we go back 3 videos ago, where I made the video about the video games that made my childhood, I mentioned a couple of Ubisoft games, Assassin's Creed 2, Far Cry 3, Prince of Persia, and there were many more. But I felt like, hey, I want this video to be dedicated to other games and not just only Ubisoft games, because the title to that video could have at least just been Ubisoft games that made my childhood epic. But back on the topic, this issue boils down to 3 things. Simple things. Graphics.
Whoa, nice graphics!
Story. And gameplay.
Father shall have a warrior's burial. Now get in the water. There you go. There you go. What the fuck? Grandpa, no. You're supposed to be dead. Now go in the water. You are dead.
So I want to start off with graphics, because that's the thing that makes everybody feel like, hey, I think I'm playing the same game because everything looks the same. And yes, everybody could say, well, it's made by one company, of course it's going to look the same. Both of these gaming series, I'm talking about Far Cry and Assassin's Creed, both of these gaming series are trying to portray real life people. Well, there's where my problem gets in. There's a very big distinction between Far Cry 4 and Assassin's Creed Unity. They look different, but after 2017 for some reason, Far Cry 6 and Assassin's Creed kind of look the same in Origins. I think after some point in the Assassin's Creed series, they were after Unity maybe, or Syndicate, because Syndicate is the last game that decently looks realistic. I think Ubisoft made a choice. Let's make the characters look a bit more cartoony. And yes, let's compare some of these gaming characters to the previous ones. And no, I'm not trying to say, the new games have horrible graphics. They can look beautiful, but I also have to give props to the older games, because some of them, the characters look more realistic, to me at least. And I could distinct Far Cry from Assassin's Creed of the characters. Story. This is mainly going to be focused on Assassin's Creed Valhalla and Far Cry 6, mainly because they focus on the same thing, and that is you have to build alliances with other people who are near you, so you can fight off the big bad. You have a big, somewhat empty map. Yes, I know, like, I'm not the only one who thinks this. These maps are humongous, but mainly back in the story, Far Cry 6 and Assassin's Creed Valhalla kind of felt the same to me. I forgot to mention this in the video, but when I got this idea or inspiration that these games feel the same, is when I first played Far Cry 6. I booted up the game on my PlayStation when it was a free weekend or whatever. I started playing, and I couldn't beat the feeling of, hey, this feels a little bit like Assassin's Creed, only that right now the character is in first person and Assassin's Creed is in third person. And yeah, that was my feeling. I couldn't kick it off, and I couldn't beat the feeling of, hey, Ubisoft is still trying to capture the flame of Far Cry 3, and they added the same mission for the 3rd time where you try to burn some drugs and music pops in the background. All I'm trying to say is, story-wise, I wish they were a bit more distinct from each other. I hope the new Assassin's Creed game and the other new Far Cry game that might come out later or whenever, I hope they feel a bit more distinct. 3. Gameplay. Gameplay is one of the big issues because I'm not a big fan of what Ubisoft is doing at the moment. I know in the future they have stated that they're going to try and differentiate from pleasing all types of gamers in one game. Like if you're an RPG fan and I'm a classic Assassin's Creed fan, we're going to have one single game. Now they're going to try and diverse the things. I hope they do that for the Far Cry series as well. I think they meant like not just for Assassin's Creed, but I think they meant also for other games. I hope that's the case, because right now, for the things that I've mentioned in the past, the gameplay also doesn't help the situation from differentiating these games. Why is that? Well, numbers. You shoot, you loot, and whatever. I know there's an option to turning those things off, but I'll be honest, not everybody is gonna think to do that. I miss the days when a headshot is a headshot and a assassination is an assassination, and not the old bullshit of, hey, you're not at a high level, you just have to shoot 3 times more, or you have to level up your hidden blade or whatever so you can have an instant kill. That takes out of the immersion. I know these games are trying to be as immersive as possible, but some of these RPG elements are making them feel way too similar to each other, and they break your immersion. Like, I want to be an assassin or a Viking, and I want my blade to stab and kill. And yes, people are going to say, but Collipso, the issue has been fixed. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, after 2 games, has fixed the issue, where a hidden blade is an instant kill. And to that I say, thank you. But my point still stands. If they are planning to make linear story for Assassin's Creed and then make an RPG, I'm still gonna play the RPG games because, hey, Assassin's Creed has a huge part in my heart, and I want to enjoy all of those games, but I want a hidden blade to feel like a hidden blade. When I slice a person's neck or stab him in the back, I want them to immediately die and bleed out, not fucking turn around and be like, hey bitch, what you trying to do now? But yes, this is all it for this type of little rant that I have made for this video. Yes, I know I could have elaborated a bit more on the points, but my brain feels this thing and I couldn't help it but talk about it. And I hope some people can share their thoughts, and maybe, like, if you guys have any thoughts, like, leave a comment down below. I'll read it and maybe we'll interact. And because this problem, I'm pretty sure not everybody will agree on, because there's a lot of people who like everything Ubisoft makes. And I think those are very optimistic people who ignore some of the red flags that are popping up in the games that they make. But hey, they're just optimistic. What can you do about it at the end of the day, right? But yeah, that's all it for this video. Again, thank you guys so much for the support in the last video. If you guys could do the same thing for this video, leave a like. I'm trying to get like up to 5 likes in this video. Again, that's all the like goal. And subscribe, turn on post notifications. I'm trying to reach 300 subscribers before the end of this year, which would be an amazing goal at the end of the day. Thank you guys so much for staying tuned. I hope you enjoyed this video so far. And yeah, comment down below again. Please, let's interact.